This is Rev. Michelle Hopkins. You remember the sonic anomaly that we found that had a diamond shape at the bottom of it, which in my humble opinion is the origination point of the emission, that spanned way past Europe, and also I believe was powered by Ascension Island. Well, some information has come in that has borne everything that I said to be true, and there's more information besides. Someone mentioned to me that they thought that this was not in the atmosphere, but that this emission was in the ocean, under the water, in the sea. And I told him, I hadn't mentioned that, but I did mention that it did not have anything to do with weather. It had no effect on cloud formations, and I was under the impression it was therefore aquatic in nature. Well, I have some information to tell you. You remember all the TTAs at Georgetown on Ascension Island. There is a Tesla Tech Array base there. It is a U.S. military base along with some other people helping, but mostly U.S., Air Force, Army, and Navy. The name of the project is Ascension Island Hydroacoustic Data System. Here we see in this image, Ascension Island has a northern leg and a leg, but this is only showing the first two northern legs and southern legs. The first one, the southern leg, we've already found, the South Atlantic Hydroacoustic Diamond. There is a northern leg that I will show you, and then there is a secondary northern leg that I will show you. There are more southern legs to this island that I will show you. In this picture, you see the cable that was running, that same type of cable was running in the space fence on that TTA. The cover story for Ascension Island Hydroacoustic Data System is this. The United States Air Force Technical Applications Center, AFTAC, is tasked with monitoring compliance of nuclear test ban treaties for the U.S. AFTAC utilizes several different techniques, each designed to monitor a specific physical domain, i.e. underground, which means we have these TTA monitoring systems underground, space, and we've talked about the space fence. We also have our own platforms in space that are satellite based, and also oceans and other arenas than that. Together, these monitoring systems, equipment, and methods form the U.S. Atomic Energy Detection Systems, USAIDS. Now, this system is used in that fashion. It goes much further than this. What this does is, in this particular area, it will tell us if there are submarines that are ours or others, belonging to other people, particularly nuclear submarines, where they are, what vicinity they are with the U.S. and with our submarines. It's also used for communications. It's used for buoys and so forth, communications, and it is used to detect whether there have been nuclear bombs placed in areas where they do not belong. That is one of the many uses for this, but it's not all the uses for this. It's very possible that this day that this was emitted, that was the use for this. But there are more uses for this. Now, we've seen the Southern Atlantic Ascension Island Diamond. We've seen this arm of that array. We also remember the earthquakes that took place the 2 days that this emission took place. Here is one of the northern arms. This was probably the first arm that was mentioned, and you'll notice it's in this obscurement. This particular array is round. We cannot see it because it's being obscured. Alright, but I want you to notice where this is located. Okay, right at the 4 north fracture zone. What that means is it's a very delicate area in the ocean. It's well known for its capability to produce seismic activity, particularly earthquake. Now you'll notice this is one of the tectonic plates, this is a tectonic plate, this and this. These are 4 tectonic plates that have come to merge. And this pressure has moved this tectonic plates away from this. This line used to be level with this line. Let me back off a little bit. This line used to be level with this line, but this tectonic plate has moved it forward. Now, why would one of these arms, why would this particular arm of the Ascension Island array be placed at this very delicate zone where it could cause earthquakes? Well, when I have spoken to insiders, they've told me that one of the benefits of having a TTA in your region is that it can cause earthquakes somewhere else. Unfortunately, one of the liabilities is that when it does that, oftentimes it causes an earthquake where it's at. That's very interesting. Another thing that you might not be aware of is that the U.S. military has been working on perfecting tsunami technology. Russia has taken great strides in perfecting their tsunami technology. They boast, their officials, I've heard them myself, boast and brag that the 2011 Japan earthquake and tsunami was their doing. Their TTA bombarded a very sensitive area east of Japan, out in the middle of the ocean, and caused that massive earthquake, resulting in a tidal wave. Alright? This appears to me to be that same kind of technology. Something that is capable of producing tsunami via hydroacoustic means. There's some other things I'd like to show you. That's the first array, the first arm of the array. You remember this went very, very far north, way past Europe. And here is the far north Arctic array. Here it is. You can see the grid right here, and they have a few more issues, land issues, but you can see the tracks from the underwater rig that went up there to build this. Alright, you can see all the lines that go to and from it, but this is actually the diamond, and there's a grid that goes over it. That's the Arctic arm of the Ascension array. I am going to also note here that these types of aquatic emissions do devastation to aquatic life. God bless you.